Good evening, students. Welcome to the day 2 of the Tally training. Hope you have all understood the yesterday's portions what we have covered. So let me quickly recap what you have seen yesterday. So what we saw is the basics of accounting software, why accounting software is required, what are all the accounting softwares available, and what is Tally and how Tally is popular, and the brief introductions about Tally background. Is it an Indian-based company based in Bangalore, and it has a lot of users in India and outside India also. Okay, then we also see that how to download Tally software. So let me quickly recap it. So what we did do, we have to go to Tally website. So how to go to Tally website? You just Tally Prime in the Google. So then Tally website is available. The Tally website name is tallysolutions.com. So click here. Click download option. Click the Tally Prime 2.1 software. Okay, just double click it. It gets downloaded in your system. You click it. Then it will ask for the folder, which folder it wants to get installed. Then we will choose the folder name. Then we will say next. The Tally gets installed. Got it? Okay. So what is the software installed is a Tally Prime, which is an educational version, which means it's a trial version. There is some restriction. The restriction also we saw in the class. The restriction is what? It's a date restriction. You will be able to enter the date for 1st, 2nd of any month or 31st of the month. However, this itself is enough for you to practice your learnings, and it is enough for you for your training program. Good to go? So this is what we have seen. Fine. Since I have already have a Tally in my system, I say that I'm quitting the installation. Fine. This is what we have seen. The next is what? Opening of a Tally software. How will you open? Once you install the Tally software, you will see icon. You will see an icon in your desktop. Right? Okay, so I just double click this icon. So Tally software gets open. So it will take 2-3 seconds. It won't take much time. So once Tally is open, which option we need to choose? We have to choose a continue in educational mode. Other things you should not choose, because what we are using is a trial version. So you are choosing this continue in educational mode option. Just click it, your Tally gets open. Okay. So how to shut the existing company? Shutting means what? Closing the company, Alt F1 or Alt F3. Both options you can choose. I am shutting the company. Then we saw how to create a company in Tally. Correct? Okay. Now let me quickly create the company. Just to recap it, create company option, and where do you want to store the company? So Shift tab. If you want to go to the previous line, you will use a key shortcut. You will use a keyboard keys. Shift tab. So to go to the next line, you just enter. Okay. To go to the previous line, Shift tab. Here I am choosing where do I want my company data to be created. Here I am selecting the drive, C drive. In C drive, I am selecting the company WCZ. Okay. Then I am creating a company ABC Limited. Then I am giving address 67, whatever the company name address that I am giving, Gandhi Road, Paris, Chennai. Then I choose Tamil Nadu. Since we have yesterday itself we have seen, I am going fast. 6 lakhs one, and the telephone number. Mobile number, and is there any email ID? Email ID, of course all companies will have email ID. Then I am giving the financial year beginning. So what is the financial year maintained for the particular country? So that beginning year we will do it, but we have to enter it. For in India, it is 1st of April 2022. Books beginning period from this date mention the from which date onwards we are maintaining the books of accounts. Okay, so normally it will be the same date itself, 1/4/2022. In case if you are opening the company or the books of company in the middle of the financial year, you will enter the particular dates. For example, I am starting the company in June, then in that case I will enter 1.6. Good to go? 1.622. Fine. So for the example sake, I am just following the same financial year. So now tell me, what is the shortcut key? So I go here, select from drive, C, WCC. Sorry, for some reason it does not been created. No problem. I can create one more time. C, WCC is the folder name. C drive, WCC is the folder name. The company name is ABC Limited. Then address, Gandhi Street, Paris. I'm giving some random address. Okay, it's not an actual data. Pin code, phone number, email. Then enter. Then this screen also I have to accept. What is the shortcut key to save the screen? Yesterday we saw, no? Control A. Control A to shortcut to save the screen. Control A. Now the company is got created. Then what did we do? Then we created a ledger. That is, ledger is a master, which is an account head. We can also call it as an account or head. So I am creating a ledger. So in this case, we took an example of Mr. Kumar, who is the owner, who is investing 1 lakh in the company. So I created a ledger, which I am again going to create. Mr. Kumar, capital account. Okay. Then the second line, what is asking? It is an under, which means it is a group. To which group I have to put this ledger under? Okay, because we need to have a categorized information. So in this case, it is a capital account. Okay, so I have created. Then I also told you there are 2 ledgers is by default is available. What are the 2 ledgers? So one is a cash, the other one is a profit and loss account. Default is available in the means it is pre-existing. Even you don't need to manually create it. It is already available in Tally. So the transaction which I am going to enter is what? Kumar is investing 1 lakh into the company, which means what? The company is receiving 1 lakh from Kumar. Okay, so this transaction is receipt. Okay, so where do you have to enter the receipt? So you have to use the down arrow, up arrow keys to navigate between this menu. Okay, this is called as a menu. This is called as a gateway of Tally. The very first screen of the Tally is called a gateway of Tally, which is equivalent to home screen of any of the software. Okay, so here I am going to the vouchers. In the vouchers, what is the transaction? It is a receipt. In accounts, all the transactions are journal, but in Tally, we are classified into various transaction types, or the other name is called voucher types. So in this case, what is my voucher type? It is a receipt. Okay. So how do I go to receipt? I have to press F6. What you are seeing in the screen is a payment. You can see it in the top corner. No, it is a payment. So I have to choose receipt. So I have to choose it through mouse or through the shortcut key. What is the shortcut key? F6. You are able to see F6 receipt. Good to go. Sir, I press F6. My transaction is selected as receipt. So the mode is something different, no? Okay, so you can change the mode into double entry mode. Double entry mode, debit and credit you can equally give. How to change the mode? We saw yesterday. Change mode. Okay, what is the shortcut key? H double underscore, which means that what? You have to use it using what? Control H, correct? I put Control H, it's asking the method double entry. Single entry is also fine, but I'll come to you later. But as you are accounting students and finance students, you try to enter entries in a double entry mode so that your accounting concept get instilled in your mind deeply. Okay, so I put double entry mode. So then 2 and buy. 2 is for credit and buy is for debit. That also you can change it. I'll tell you later. Maybe let's try that. Can we change it from here? Here you are able to see it. So how did you go to the screen? You press F12. This is one of the important feature in Tally. This is something new I'm introducing today. F12 is the configuration screen, which is used to change the appearance, format or future availability in the current screen. So let me tell you, F12, an important feature in Tally. It is a configuration screen which is used to change the appearance or display of few items in the current screen. What is the current screen? Whatever screen I'm saying, that is the current screen. So in this case, what I'm trying to do, see in my screen I'm seeing the to and by. See, some people use to and by, some people use debit or credit. In case I want to change it to debit and credit. So how do you change it? By using the current screen configuration. So how do you go? Press F12. Are you able to see it? Use credit or debit instead of to and by during the voucher entry. I set to yes. Okay. Now it got changed. So can you all type F12? So in order to memorize F12 in your chat box. So it's a credit, Kumar Capital, because it's a liability. The business has to give back this money, okay, because it's a liability. Business owes 1 lakh rupees to the owner, okay. Then I type 1 lakh. Then the 1 lakh is coming inside. That's a company in which format? In a cash format. He is investing the money in cash. So I choose the option debit, cash. So whenever my asset increases, I have to debit it. Okay. So I put 1 lakh. Got it? So my transactions got completed. 1 lakh and 1 lakh. Good to go. So 1 lakh credit, 1 lakh debit. As for the dual aspect, debit and credit should be equal. At least I need to have two accounts. So both these accounting concepts are fulfilled. Good to go? Fine. So then I type narration. What do we type in narration? I can type some related information pertaining to this transaction. So in this case, I can say Mr. Kumar invested. Like that I can put it. Okay. Then enter. So the transaction is got recorded. Fine. Now the next screen has come. It is asking for the next transaction to enter. Okay. So what was the next transaction we tried yesterday? We made some advance to for the shop or an office. Okay. So it made means what? We paid. So which means what? The transaction type is what it will come in this right hand side direction. In the right hand side you can see it now. What it will come? It is a payment. So what is the shortcut for payment? F5. So payment has come. Okay. So now payment is an advance. Advance is what? It's an asset, which means what? It is a advance. It is a returnable amount. So once we are vacating the office or shifting the office, the house owner will return the amount. So it is an asset. So what is the rule for an asset? If the asset increases, we should debit it. Correct? Okay. So then debit. Do you see the advance ledger here? No, you don't see it because we have not created it. How we can create a ledger? You can go to the master or you can create from here itself. So what is the shortcut key to create a ledger from the transaction? What I mean by here itself? From the transaction. Okay, the shortcut key is Alt C. Please note Alt C, and you can also type Alt C in your chat box. Alt C. Alt C. I am creating an advanced ledger. So I'll say that Office Advance. The ledger name is Office Advance. And what is the corresponding or otherwise the related group? I have to group it. So it is loans and advances. What you are seeing is a predefined ledger grouping in Tally. Okay, so most of the ledgers or all the ledgers will belong to this group only. Okay, any one of the group. I am choosing loans and advances. Okay, GST thing that and all we will leave it. Okay, that will come back later. So I have created advance ledger. How much advance we are paying? 25,000 as an advance is being paid. Okay. So once you are paying the amount in cash, what happens? My cash balance get reduced. When asset get reduced, what is the entry? We should credit the cash. Okay. Then I'll type the related narration. So what is my narration? So I can say I paid advance to this office located at Paris, to the owner, Mr. Lakshman. Like that I can save. Enter. If you see what happened now, from one field to one field, if you want to move, what you will enter. You will type enter key in the keyboard. Then it comes to the end, it will ask for the accept, yes or no. You can press Y, or again you can, if you press enter key, the transaction get registered. Okay. So now we have made 2 transactions. Then how will I go and see the 2 transactions in the report? I can see it from the daybook. Okay. How do I go to daybook? I have to come to the gateway of tally. So how do I come to the gateway of tally? I press escape key. If you press escape key, you will become to the previous screen. Can you all just type escape, ESC, in your chat box? So escape key is to come to the previous screen. So in Windows browser, in Chrome browser enter, what do you do? If you want to go back to the previous page, you'll press the back button, no? So similarly, in Tally, if you want to come back to the previous screen, you press escape key. Good to go? Fine. So what are we going to see now? We are going to see what are the 2 transactions we have entered. So where we will see, I will go and see in the daybook. Okay, so daybook is a report which is available here under transaction, under voucher transaction. Here. Good to go. Thanks Shruti for following the instruction. So guys, so you type your roll numbers, college roll number here for your attendance. If you have not done already, please type it down. Fine. Now I am in a daybook. Okay. So in the daybook, I will be able to see the transaction for the particular period. See, in this case, I have selected only one date. Okay. You can also select any number of date or any number of period. What do you mean by period? Period is always have a one from date and one to date. Okay. So you might ask, sir, daybook is a report, but why do we call it as a transaction? Because it's coming under transaction. Are you able to see it? It is coming under transaction. This is the heading, transaction and daybook. So see, you have to adjust it. Suppose if I go to the previous screen, what I would have done? I would have pressed the escape in my system to go back to the screen. So it is a report, and also from here you can enter a transaction. From here also you can enter a transaction. This is something I am teaching you. Okay. So the shortcut key is, you don't need to remember, the shortcut key is available at the bottom. So this bottom button, you see my mouse movement, and this is the bottom button. So from here also you can create a transaction. That is why it is, the daybook is also kept under the transaction menu. Okay. Are you able to see it? So I want to make some transaction. So are you able to see it? Add voucher. Add voucher means add a new transaction. Voucher means transaction. Correct. Okay. I click here, or otherwise you can use a shortcut key. So I gave a guidance. What did I say? So in Tally, while you are using Tally, you have to use the keyboard shortcuts. Don't go for mouse, because it will affect the efficiency, speed. Everything if you do it in keyboard, so you will be able to do it in a faster way and practice in that sense. So I am adding a transaction. So what is the shortcut key? Alt A. Why I say Alt A? A single underscore is there. So I am adding a transaction, Alt A. Now we have come to the transaction thing. So what is the transaction we can do? Okay, see for example, I am buying a furniture. I am buying a furniture. Okay. So furniture account. So what are the 2 accounts is involved? Furniture account and the cash, because I am going to make a payment through cash. Okay. So furniture is a fixed asset. Am I right? Furniture is a fixed asset because it has a value. Fine? Yeah. So the transaction what you are doing is I am buying. So when I say I am buying, I am paying the money. Correct? So what is the transaction type, or otherwise voucher type I have to choose? I have to choose payment. Am I right? Payment. I choose a payment. So what is my debit ledger? Furniture, which is coming under fixed asset. Okay. So how do I create the ledger? Ledger is not available. Is the furniture ledger is available here? No, it is not available. How do I create a ledger? Alt C. Okay, Alt C. From transaction I will create Alt C. This kind of creation is called secondary creation. This kind of secondary creation. You will be able to see here secondary, which means that not from the master but from transaction I have created. But anyway, of course the end result is same. The new ledger is created. Good to go. So what is the ledger we want to create? Furniture. furniture. So now you just check and tell which accounting group I have to choose. Fixed asset, is it more relevant to this particular account? So I choose fixed asset. Okay, this and all you say not applicable and all. Don't worry about give not applicable. Okay, then I have to save it. What is the shortcut key for saving? Control A. So if you guys are so interested to respond to my queries, you keep chatting, you put it in the chat so that it will register in your memory. Okay. So what is the shortcut key to save the screen? Any screen? Control A. Good. Okay. So I am buying a furniture for 10,000 rupees. Okay. Then how do you make a payment? Through cash. Good to go? Fine. Enter. Then here I am saying that I bought a sofa from JFA furniture shop. So this is my narration. Good to go? Okay. So what do you do? The date alone we will change it. Okay. So the date is 1st of April. For example sake, I am changing the date as date to 1st of May. 1st of May. Can I put 14 of April? Of course, I can buy it any day, but the version which I am using, the Tally version, the Tally software which I am using is an educational software, so I will not be able to enter the date other than 1, 2 and 31 because there is a restriction in it. And please note that you can do all your trainings and learnings with this education itself. You don't need a licensed software because licensed software requires a payment. For you students, for the practice, it is not required. Okay. So anyway, so the date I am going to change is 1.5. That is 1.5 means 1st of May. So see, the Tally has a lot of flexibility. That is, you can enter a date in many format. You can say 1/5. You can say 1/5. It accepts 1st May. So and you can say 1 May. It accepts. So it has a flexibility. You can put it in any format, 1/ or hyphen. Tally accepts it. Are you able to see it? This is one of the interesting aspect about Tally. So how to change a date in a voucher? Press F2. Okay, you will be able to see the shortcut button over here. No, F2. Press F2. Change the date 1.5. Okay. So I made a transaction. Good to go. Fine. So now I am in a day book. Okay. So what did we do? Just now what did we learn? The new concept, adding a voucher from the day book. How did I add? Using a shortcut key. Here no, add voucher, Alt A. Fine. Recently we have entered a voucher for the purchase of furniture, which is not available. Why it is not available? Because the report, the day book report which I am seeing it is for 1st April. So it is not covered for the 1st May. The purchase of furniture we made on 1st of May. So I want to see that particular transaction also. How do I do? I press F2. I change the date as 1.5. Now, are you able to see it? The furniture, the payment we have given, no, we purchased, no, that is there. Good to go? Fine? Yeah. So now I want to see that. I want to see the transaction for the period from 1st of April to 1st of May. So how do you do it? Instead of F2, you press Alt F2. Let me tell you, press Alt F2. Alt F2 will ask you for the from date and to date. Alt F2 will ask you for the from date and to date. Here I am giving 1.4 and 1.5. That is 1st of April to 1st of May. So all the transaction happen between the particular period has come. Okay. So the shortcut key which you need to learn here is Alt F2. Alt F2 is to give a period. So please note that the shortcut keys are common across Tally. That is in other reports, in other places also the shortcut keys are common. Okay, mostly it is common. So to remember the shortcut keys, it help you to work Tally faster. Okay, so what is the shortcut key we are used to change the period? Alt F2. Can you guys just press Alt F2 in your chat box? Alt F2. Even if you press Alt key, my screen right hand side buttons display is getting changed. Are you able to see it? Now I am pressing it. So the date become period. Okay, Alt F2. So I put 1.4.22. Okay. Then any period I can give. Even I can period 1.6. any period. So now I have only 3 transactions, it is available. Okay, good to go, fine. So what I have learned now is daybook. Okay, there is wonderful option available in Tally, that too especially in Tally Prime. Tally Prime is the latest software. You can go to a particular menu, you can go to a particular report, or you can go to a particular transaction from wherever you are there. Okay, so that option is called go to. Are you able to see it? Go to. So this is the option. You can go to any screen you want to go. Okay, so now what we'll see, we will go to balance sheet. So typically how we will do, normally how we will do, we give escape, we will come to the gateway of Tally, then we will create balance sheet. You remember yesterday we saw hotkey? So that highlighted key, highlighted character in any menu. See, in this balance sheet, B is highlighted. This key is called hotkey, which means that I don't need to navigate using a upper arrow and down arrow. I can just press the highlighted letter. So in this case, it is B. Okay, so I go to the balance sheet. Okay, so this is the normal way. So the other way, what I said, using a go to option. Are you able to see it? Go to. So this is interesting feature. It's an important feature in Tally Prime. Okay, can you just type go to, or otherwise Alt G in your chat box. Sudhi, thanks for following the instruction. Alt G. So I press Alt G. So what happens? There are a lot of menu are coming. Okay, Alt G, lot of menu is coming. Okay, I can choose menu. So in this case, what I am interested in, I want to go to balance sheet. I press balance sheet. It is there, balance sheet. Good to go. Then I choose balance sheet. I'll enter. I have come to the balance sheet. Don't you think it is a cute, interesting feature in Tally Prime? You don't need to remember. You just go to. You don't know it. You know in which menu it is hidden inside. You don't need to remember. Okay. All you have to do is what? Using a go to option. Okay. So it is something similar to in Windows. No? In Windows, the search option is available in the taskbar. Whatever software you type, it will take you there. No, it is equivalent to that. Okay. So now let's see the balance sheet. Now let's understand the balance sheet. Okay. So what is the capital account? How much of capital we have received? 1 lakh. Okay. So the balance sheet is in a condensed format. It is in a shortened format. I want to enlarge this. I want to expand this balance sheet. What is the shortcut key you have used? Do anyone remember? Alt F1 or Alt F5. F5, you can see, you can press F5. Alt F5. Are you able to see it? In the right hand side, do you see it? Condensed, detailed. It is a detailed. This is a detailed balance sheet. Okay. So what is my capital account? 1 lakh as a right. Fixed asset 10,000 rupees. What is this 10,000 rupees? We have purchased so far. No, that comes under fixed asset. In current asset, we have loans and advances. We have paid some 25,000 rupees as an advance to the shop, and the remaining 65,000 it's available in the cash in an office. Okay. Now my liability and assets matches. Are you able to see it? So this fulfills the fundamental accounting concept. You just observe this for 30 seconds. So this is the balance sheet you prepare in your exams, am I right? So in Tally, what you have to do? You have to just enter the transaction. This balance sheet, P&L and cash flow statements and all automatically prepared. The entire balance is also automatically prepared. The ledger posting, the ledger accounts will also be automatically prepared. So I want you to spend just 15 seconds to observe this report. Okay, you just recollected how this information have arrived, how this 10,000 arrived, how this total 90,000 has arrived. Okay, so total 90,000, current asset total 90,000, 25,000 rupees is in advance, which lies with Mr. Lakshman, who is the house owner, and the cash in hand is 65,000. Okay, good to go. So now can you just recap what are the reports we have seen? 2 reports. What are the reports? Daybook report and balance sheet report. Balance sheets are called final accounting reports. Correct? Balance sheet, P&L. Okay, cash flow. Those are all finance report, FA final report. These are the key important 3 reports. Good to go? Fine. So we will see another 2-3 transactions. Okay. So imagine this ABC Limited. The ABC Limited is a company. They are into trading of what do we call? We will call a small mobile shop. Because the capital itself is a small mobile shop. As if that it is a small mobile shop. So what is the activities involved in the small mobile shop? They purchase material, they purchase mobile, and they sell the mobile. Okay, this is a small activity. Okay. So what happens? This ABC Limited is buying a mobile for credit. What do you mean by credit? You don't make a payment. You go to the vendor, sir, give me some mobile. I will make the payment in 1 month's time or 2 months time. So this is what the trading happens. On some of the most of the cases it happens on the credit. So in this case, the ABC Limited is buying a mobile from, for an example, Samsung company. Okay. So what is the transaction we have to enter? Purchase. So how do I enter? I can go to vouchers and enter. Okay. What is the alternative way? Using Alt G. I told you to the transaction or for the reports you can use the Alt G or go to option, which means that from anywhere to anywhere you can jump. Okay. So let's use Alt G option. Alt G. So here, is it a transaction or a master? The purchasing of mobile is a transaction or a master? It is a transaction. Okay. I create a voucher. Okay. What is the transaction? We are buying. Okay. So buying means purchasing. Correct. Okay. So the shortcut key for the purchase is F9. Good to go? Fine. So what do? It appears in the inventory mode and all. I am just changing it. So I want to change the mode. I want to change the mode of this particular screen. Okay. So what do you go? There's an option to change mode. So the shortcut is what? Control H. I'm saying that as voucher. I'll come to the inventory part later in 3rd or 4th day classes. Now we will only concentrate on the accounting part. Okay. Inventory is also involved. What do you mean by inventory? Product, stock item. Okay. How to enter the stock item information and all that we will see in the coming classes. For today's class, we will see the accounting part alone. Okay. So for that reason that I am changing the entry mode. So how do you change the entry mode? Right hand side I am seeing a button called change mode. So I press Ctrl H. Okay. So I entering it as a voucher, a normal accounting voucher. Okay. Fine. So here I enter the transaction date. What is the transaction date? I say that 1.5.22. That is 1st of May. Here I am entering the supplier invoice number, which means that I am buying some mobile for credit, which means that I am not paying an immediate amount. The amount I have an agreement with the purchaser that is an oral agreement or a written agreement that I will be making a payment later. Okay. So that supplier invoice number, whatever number is involved in the particular transaction, the supplier will give a bill for ABC Limited. So that number I am putting it. So for example, I put purchase 01. Okay. Then here I have to enter what is the transaction I will get. There should be one debit and credit. So one is a purchase account. So purchase is an expenses. If expenses increases, what is the rule? Golden rule. Debit all expenses. Correct. Okay. Then credit the giver. Correct. Okay. So what I have to do? I have to credit the supplier, vendor, all same. Okay. All meaning same. So I have to create a supplier account. Here, who is my supplier? Samsung company. It is a presumption. It is an example. Samsung supplier. I call the company as Samsung supplier. Okay. So who is my creditor? I think you are all familiar with this term. Creditor means supplier or a vendor. Okay. So in accounting we call it as a sundry creditors. Okay. Fine. So this option we give no. Maintain bill wise we say no. Okay. So let me explain this. The ledger account, I am creating ledger for a supplier because I need to give back the money. Okay. Then which is coming under the group sundry creditors. What is the sundry creditors? It is under liability. Are you able to see it? It is under liability, which means what? Yeah, we are supposed to give the payment, no? So I'm not buying it in cash, I'm buying it as in credit, okay? So I enter here. Here I say no, bill wise details, initially you give no, the importance and the significance I will be covering it in the coming classes. I'll say no, enter, enter, enter. Then supplier address, if required we can put. You can say 89 Usman Road, T Nagar. And then enter, then I will come back to the end of this form, then I save it, okay. Then some screen is coming, you just skip it, for the time being you skip it, later I will tell you. How do you skip it? Just enter or press Ctrl A, Ctrl 8 to save the current screen through shortcut, okay, good to go. Ctrl A. Then it asking for the who supplier details and all. I am giving the supplier detail is Samsung supplier, those information I am giving. Okay. So please note that the same information we gave, but that is in the ledger master. Okay. So this information is required for the transaction. I think you guys will be able to distinguish what is a master and transaction. Master is it's a one-time creation which we will use in the transaction whenever we want, which means very first time only I will create a supplier ledger Samsung. The next purchase when I make, I don't need to create a new ledger. I will use the existing ledger and I will use it. Okay. So this is the party details. That is in our case it is a supplier details. And saving the screen, the shortcut key to save the screen is Ctrl A. Fine. Here I am buying a mobile for 20,000 rupees. Okay, 20,000 rupees. Why it is a credit? Because it's a liability. When liability increases, you have to credit it. Okay. Then I am buying a mobile phone. Okay. So mobile is I'm purchasing. In this case, it's a purchase. Okay. So the purchase ledger I have to choose it. I don't have a purchase ledger because we just opened the company. So how to create a purchase ledger? By shortcut. Okay. Alt C, or here you have an option of create. Are you able to see? Create. I say create. I create a purchase ledger, purchase of mobiles. This is my ledger name. You might say, what basis that I need to create a name? It depends on the company. It depends on an accountant. You can say purchase of mobile or mobile purchase account, or you can generally say that purchase account. Say example, this mobile company only deals with the mobile. It is not dealing with any accessories like a charger or power bank or USB wires. In this case, you can just say the purchase account. But here I want to know how much I purchased mobiles, how much accessories, how much cover I have purchased, how much charger I have purchased. I want to know it. So for that particular reason, that I name the purchase account as purchase of mobiles. Okay. Then I have to group it under a particular. Ledger group. So what is the relevant group here? Purchase accounts. Okay. So I have to choose a purchase account. So you say not applicable, these are all not applicable. You say not applicable for time being, okay. Later I will tell you that GST related things in a later classes. Say I want to know this, a purchase account belongs to which category of the accounting head. So we know that all the ledger will come under just 4 categories. What are the categories? Income, expenses, asset and liability. Say I want to see the purchase account comes to which category. So what is the shortcut key to modify or go to the master? Not creation master, go to the master. What is the master? This purchase account is a master, correct? Which is a ledgers group. What is the shortcut key? Anyone remember it? It is Control Enter. Okay, Control Enter. Are you able to see it? What is the nature of the group? It is expenses. Just to prove a point that I show the screen. The rest of the thing is I don't need to enter any another thing. So I want to save the screen with the shortcut. So what is the shortcut key is used? Control A. Okay. Fine. This is all you skip it. Okay. This is all you skip it. Control A. Then I enter. Here in the narration I give some meaningful narration. See, for example, I purchased 2 mobiles, each worth 10,000 rupees. I just give the narration. 2 mobiles purchased. Each 10k. Samsung Galaxy or something. Samsung For example, anyway, Galaxy doesn't come for 10,000 rupees. Just for the example sake, I'm giving Samsung Galaxy. So I have entered. Good to go? Fine. Okay. Now we will go and see our ledgers. Okay. See, before that, I just want to tell you that. So I entered it. The transaction has got saved, and it is asking for the next voucher to be entered. Okay. So from this screen, I want to know what is my previous voucher. What is the voucher I recently created. So please note the transaction voucher all same. Okay. All have the same meaning. So I want to see the previous voucher. So what is the shortcut key? So this is not available in the screen. So I want you to make a note, and you can also type it in the chat box. It is page up. You know no page up screen in the keyboard. Page up, page down. In this case, page up. If you press page up, you will be able to see that what is the latest transaction I have entered. If you press another page up, the before transaction. Another page up, it will come like that. Good to go? Fine. So now I have purchased a mobile. Okay. Can you all now go and see how my profit and loss account looks like? You all know what is the profit and loss account? Your income, expenses, your both direct and income expenses, and I will show you the gross profit and the net profit. Am I right? I'm not getting into the detail of profit and loss account, and this is the purpose of the profit and loss account. Correct? So can we go and see? So how do you go to the profit and loss account? From the gateway tally, enter P or profit and loss account. Enter. Are you able to see it? So purchase accounts 20,000 rupees. That's it. Now it shows us a net loss. Why? I have not sold it. Good to go? I have not sold it. Okay. I just made an expenses. So it shows as a net loss. It's correct only. Correct. My gross profit, my gross loss is 20,000. My net loss is also 20,000. Okay. This is how profit and loss account automatically gets prepared in Tally. So now you tell me that what is the shortcut key to expand this and see. I told you no, in Tally, in most of the things you will have a same kind of shortcut keys. So what is the shortcut key? Alt F1 or Alt F5. You can use Alt F1 or Alt F5. Are you able to see it? I have just expanded it. What's an expanded? It is just summary. Now it is showing the ledger also 20,000. Okay. See, you type Alt F5 in order to remember the shortcut key for Tally to expand the report. Are you able to see it? Expand the report. So it is a group and it is the ledger. See, how do you identify in other way which one is a ledger, which one is a group? So if it is bold, then it is a group. If it is not bold, it is a ledger. Good to go? Fine. Okay. Then I will introduce one more interesting feature in Tally. This is one of the not every software will have this option. This option is called drill down. Let me repeat it. Drill down, which means that you can enter a particular number, then you can go into the detail till the transaction. You can go into the detail till the transaction. See, now I am in purchase of mobiles ledger. I press enter. I have to press enter key, or otherwise I have to double click it. So if you move here, do you see that the hand symbol is coming? I have to say the double click it. Okay. What happened? If you have to double click it, I have been taken to this particular ledger. What is the ledger? Purchase of mobile, and this report is called monthly summary. Ledger monthly summary. This is something new we are introducing. Okay. So can you just type monthly summary? MS, you can type MS in your chat box in order to remember monthly summary. It tells me the summary information about the particular ledger. Here you are able to see the ledger. Are you able to see the ledger? Purchase of mobiles, and this is the company name, and this is the period. What is the period? From 1st of April to 1st of May. So this is my summary. What is my summary? The total debit for the purchase of mobile account is 20,000 rupees. Okay. This report is called ledger monthly summary. Okay, you can call it as a MS for shortcut shortcut method to remember is MS monthly summary. So then I want to go inside it. So what I do? I have to double click this hand symbol. Double click is you are go into the particular ledger. Okay, this option is called what? Drill down. Type DD in your chat box. Drill down. Drill down feature. Okay. So if you press the drill down, what happens? I go to the ledger register or accounts books or ledger vouchers. All means same. Otherwise, you can say account books. So this is what you call as a ledger posting in your accounting service. What you do? You prepare a transaction, then that amount you will post it in the separate book. That book, what do you call? The physical book. You call it a ledger, no? Ledger posting. So in Tally we call it as a account books or ledger register. This is again a new report which we are coming to know. Okay. So this report is called ledger vouchers or account book. So you can say AB in your chat box. Just to remember, account book. So whatever the transaction have done for the particular ledger is get displayed for the period, for the particular period. Okay. So now I told you, it's a drill down feature. I can go to drill down till the transaction. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to double click it or I have to enter it. If I enter it, what happens? I'm able to go to the purchase voucher which I just entered. Okay. I can also change the value. Okay. See, instead of 20,000, I make the value as 21,000. Then I'm saving it. Enter, saving it. Okay. Now I've saved it. My ledger book shows the value 21,000. Now see, you see the very interesting thing. Okay. I'm giving escape to come back to the previous screen. Give escape. I will come to the monthly register. Are you able to see it? Monthly register. So in the monthly register also values got updated. Are you able to see it? So once I change in the transaction and whatever the reports I go or come out, it gets automatically refreshed. You don't need to do anything extra. You don't need to refresh the page or recalculate at all. You don't need to do it. This is the power of a Tally. This is one of the key feature of Tally. This feature is called drill down. Okay. Then I am coming escape. Now I have come to the purchase accounts. Okay. The purchase accounts also, the P&L also, the value got changed. Okay. So let me quickly recap it. The feature which you are going to see is a drill down feature. So how do I go with? If I enter it, I will be taken to the detailed information. In this case, from the P&L, I will be taken to the monthly summary. Then I will be taken to accounting book. Then I will be taken to transaction. Beyond transaction, I don't have any other detail. Correct? This is my bottom part. This is my last activity. Correct? Good to go? So quickly we will recap it. What are the things we have learned? Profit as a account, drill down feature we have learned, and the two reports we have learned. What are the two reports? So one is a monthly summary. The second one is a ledger book or ledger vouchers or account book. Okay, both means same. So that we have seen. Okay. Now let's see that. Now I want to see my cash book. I want to see my cash book. How do you go? I want to see my cash book. Okay, cash is again a ledger, correct? So how do I go? There are two ways we can go. So one is, first we will use our shortcut way. So what is the shortcut way? Go to option. Okay, Alt G. Go to. I say that cash ledger. I want to go to the cash book. Okay, cash is also a ledger. So I press go to. Then I say that ledger vouchers. Ledger vouchers, account book, ledger, all meaning same. Okay, I press ledger vouchers, enter. Here I press which ledger I want to see. So as I said, I want to see cash. So I press cash. Are you able to see it? I have a cash. This is my cash book. Cash book for which period? For the single date. How do I know it is a single date? The right hand side corner you will be seeing the date, single date. Okay. Are you able to understand? 1st May cash book, I am seeing it. In the 1st May, I have only one transaction, which is 10,000. And come down and see. It's very interesting to know. So what is this opening balance? 75,000. What does it mean? On 1st of May, my opening balance of the cash is 75,000. Okay. Then I have a 10,000. So which is a credit. So what is my closing balance? 65,000. On 1st of May, what is my closing balance? It is a 65,000. What is my opening balance? It is a 75,000. And the day of opening, what was my opening balance? It is a 75,000. Okay. Now I want to see. So let me repeat it. 2-3 information you have to understand in this screen. So one is the date. For which date I am seeing it? It may be a date or it may be a period also. So date means it's a single day. Okay. Period means there will be from date and to date. More than 1 day will be there. So this information you need to know. The next one is an opening balance. What is the opening balance? On the particular day, what is the balance of the cash? Okay. So what is the cash? It is a ledger. So in this example, on 1st of May, the cash balance is 75,000. The transaction on the first day, 1st of May is 10,000 rupees. But end of the day, what is the closing balance? It is 65,000. Okay. Have you understood this? Okay. Now the same ledger, we will see it for one particular period. So we will take the period from 1st of April to 31st of May. So what is the shortcut key to change the period? You just Alt F2. Okay, we press Alt. My names has changed. Alt F2. I press 1.4.22. It can be 1.4 or slash. Okay. 1st of April to 31st of May. Please note, I will be able to give a 31 date 31 in the date field, which is allowed in the education version. Now see the appearance. How it looks. All the transaction for the particular period is getting displayed. Good to go? The first one is what? Receipt. So 1 lakh have come as a capital. So the next one is from that 1 lakh, 25,000 is paid for the office advance. So next is 10,000 is used to buy the furniture. Correct? You might ask, sir, we have purchased Samsung mobile, but we have not paid the cash. The Samsung mobiles we have purchased for the credit. Good to go? So this is how you can see your ledger books. Okay, in Tally, this report we call it as a ledger vouchers. Okay, can you all just type LV or ledger vouchers in your chat box in order to remember ledger vouchers. Good to go? Fine. So how do we come to the ledger vouchers? From the shortcut go to menu. Okay. What is the other way to come? You go to the gateway of Tally. From the gateway of Tally, choose display more reports. Okay. Display more reports. Then you come to the account books. Then you choose ledger. Okay. In this ledger, you will choose whatever ledger you want to see. You can take it. Here I choose cash. By default, it shows 1st of May. I can change the period. So I'll change the period from 1st of April to 31st of May. It not be same date. You can choose any other date, whatever date you want to see. So I didn't get any data. Why? Because I chose the wrong dates. 1 for 23. Then my transaction are there for 2022. So I have to change the date 1/4/2022 to 31/5/22. Got it? Good. Thanks Shruti for giving the feedback in the chat box. Good. So this one report we have seen. Okay. So now we will see my balance sheet. Okay, now we will see my balance sheet because we had one transaction on purchase. I go to balance sheet. So how to see the balance sheet in expanded mode? Alt F5. Okay. So what is the period which we have used? It is the 1st of May. Okay, just a minute. So please note this Samsung supplier, no, I've created under Sunday data, which is not right. It should be Sunday creditors. Okay, it should be Sunday creditor. The supplier I have to create it under Sunday creditor. By mistakenly I have done it. It should be Sunday creditor. Okay, so how I find, no, because in liability that Sunday creditor should have come. It have not come, so I understand that I made some mistake. Then I identified, then I created here. Are you able to see it? This is my balance sheet. So 1 lakh the business supposed to give it to the owner, which is a capital account. The next one is a Sunday creditor, 21,000. So this is entry have come because you have purchased mobile phones for a credit. Okay, there is one more option, F12. You can see the condensed report and detailed report, you can see from here. Okay. Got it? Now are you able to understand this balance sheet? You just spend some 10 seconds to understand this balance sheet, these figures. You just keep the screen open for 10-15 seconds, just understand it. Fine. Good to go? Okay, so let's see some more transaction. Some more voucher types. So, so far you have seen receipt, payment, purchase. Now we'll see. Now we'll make one sale entry. Now we'll make one sale entry. So we will sell the mobile. 2 mobiles you have purchased now for 21,000 rupees. So that we will sell it for 35,000 rupees for an example. Okay. So what is the transaction type we need to choose? It is a sales. The right hand side you can choose a shortcut key F8. Sales. Now change the mode. The mode is different. I want to change the mode to voucher mode. So what is the shortcut key? Control H as voucher. Okay. So what do? I'm selling this for cash. Selling it for cash, which means what? When I sell, the customer will pay me the cash. It is not for a credit. What is the credit? I give the mobile and collect the payment later. So that is the credit sales. So now the sales is a cash sales. So here what happens? The cash increases. Am I right? So in this case I have to debit the cash. This details and all you just skip it. How to skip it? You just press Ctrl A to accept the particular form. Here also you press Ctrl A to accept the form. So the mobile phone I bought it for 21,000 rupees. I'm selling it for 35,000 rupees. Okay, 35,000 rupees, and I should credit what? I should credit my incomes. Correct. You remember credit incomes, LIC, any liability or income I should credit. Okay. So here I should credit the particular ledger. Here in this case I don't have a ledger, so I have to create a ledger. So what is the appropriate name I can give? Sales of mobile phones or mobile. You can just give it sales of mobile. Then what is the group for the particular ledger? So I have a group called sales accounts. So sales accounts will come under what? Which head? Which broad head? It will come under the income head. Okay, I give escape, go to the previous screen. This and all you just save it. Okay, you forgot about the other information, you just ignore it. You press Ctrl A to save the current screen through shortcut. So this also you just save it, Ctrl A. So I am just making an entry that is for the sale of 2 mobile phones for the amount 35,000 on the date 1st of May. Okay. In narration you can give some relevant thing. 2 mobiles sold. Relevant information. 2 mobiles sold. Enter. Got it? Now completed. Now can we go and see our balance sheet? So how to go to the balance sheet? From Gateway of Tele I can go to balance sheet. Okay, so can we go to balance sheet? I have come to the gateway of tally, balance sheet. Expand it. What is the expansion? Control Alt F5. Are you able to see it? See, my cash balance has increased. My cash balance has increased. Previously it was 65,000. My cash balance is increased. Okay. So how it is increased? Because I sold the mobile phone 35,000 rupees. That cash have arrived in. Good to go? So this is how we see the balance sheet. Now let's see our profit and loss account. How did I come to the home screen or gateway of tally? By pressing escape. Okay. So profit and loss account. I am going to profit and loss account. Now it show me is a profit because I have sold the mobile. So I purchased a mobile for 21,000. Then I sold it for 35,000 rupees. So what is my gross profit? 35,000 minus 21,000, which is 14,000, and that is my net profit also. Okay. So gross profit and net profit, I'll give some more example after this transaction. By the time you will know the difference. So this is gives me gross profit. So you just spend some 15 seconds, observe this transaction and try to assimilate the concept. So my right hand side is my income, my left hand side is my expenses, and this is the gross profit. Since I don't have any other indirect expenses, the same amount is my net profit. Is that good? So what are the two things you have learned here? How to make a sales entry and how to understand the P&L and how to understand the balance sheet. Is that fine? Good to go? Fine. See what happened now. There are other expenses also happens in the business, correct? So for our example, so electricity expenses. The shop consumes electricity, no? That is an expenses. So the company is making some payment for the expenses. For example, 500 rupees. So how do you make that entry? Go to vouchers. So it is a payment. Okay, because we are paying amount for the electricity expenses. I say Alt C to create the ledger, or otherwise you can use this option also. Are you able to see it? And when I move it, it goes to the option called create from ledger. Create from ledger. I create a ledger. Electricity expenses. Electricity expenses. Okay. So which will come under which group? Which will come under indirect expenses. Why it is not come under direct expenses? It is related to purchase, labor, that and all will come under direct expenses. Which means what? When my purchases increases, purchase expenses, purchase related expenses will do. When my sales increases, my sales expenses will do. But this indirect expenses, no, whether it's not related to our purchases. It is a whether the manufacturing happens or sale happens or purchase happens, the expenses incurred, which is kind of a fixed expenses. It's not always a fixed expense. It's a kind of a fixed expenses that we will give it as a indirect expenses, which is related. It is directly related to your trading activity. Then we call it as a direct expenses. Trading activity, see in this company is a buying and selling. Okay, so my purchases are directly involved into my core activity. Okay, then it is a direct expenses. But here the electricity is not indirect expense. It is not directly involved in it. It is a supporting cost, correct? Or otherwise cost involved in doing the particular activity, correct? So electricity expenses, which is a indirect expenses, you just say Control A. Control A to shortcut created. Through shortcut create the or otherwise save the form. I give 500 as the electricity expenses. Then I am making the payment, this electricity EB bill through cash. So I say 500. And there will be other expenses also be there. See for example, salary to the so the salesman. Okay, so I'll create the ledger salary to the salesman, or otherwise showroom boy, showroom man or showroom boy. I can say showroom boy. So this is also the indirect expenses. Okay, I say Control C. The salary is, for example, say I say that 5,000 rupees. The salary is paid as a cash. Enter. Good to go. 2 transactions I have made. How do you go and see the transaction? Alt G. I can say day book. Here I can see all the transactions. So I choose the period 1.4 to 31st May. So all the transactions I may be able to see it. So purchase payment 500 for a electricity expenses and 5,000 is for a salary to the showroom boy. Now I want to see how my profit and loss account impacts. So how to go to the profit and loss account? The one way is you can go from the gateway of tally. The other one is you can go from the go to screen. So I press go to screen, then I press profit and loss account. I'm able to come to profit and loss account. So make it detail, Alt F5. Now are you able to see it? So now my gross profit, my net profit has reduced. My gross profit is same. How much is 14,000? I buy the. Please understand it. Line by line I explain to you. This purchase account tells me the purchase of mobile, which is for 21,000, and I have sold it for 35,000. So what is my gross profit? It is 14,000. Good to go. Then I made 2 expenses. One expenses is for electricity charges, which is 500. The other one is salary to the showroom guy, 5,000 rupees. So total expenses is 5,500. Okay. So my net profit is gross profit minus indirect expenses. My gross profit is 14,000. My indirect expenses is 5,500. So my net profit is 8,500. Okay. So gross profit is sales minus purchase. That is my gross profit. Gross profit minus indirect expenses is my net profit. I hope you have understood this. I want you to spend another 30 seconds in observing the screen, and once you're done, you just say done. If you understood it, just say done. So we will move on to the next aspect. So this is very much important. The example given is very simple. The time starts now. After 30 seconds, you just type done. You can also take 1 minute because it's important. Okay, Roshni says that she wants to repeat it. Let me repeat it. Like here I am explaining the gross profit and net profit. My gross profit is sales minus purchase is my gross profit. Then indirect expenses. Then minus indirect expenses is my net profit. Of course, there will be some indirect income which also come that I am not getting into that particular detail. So here I have purchased a mobile for 21,000. I sold it for 35,000 rupees. So what is the margin or what is the profit? That profit is called as a gross profit, 14,000 rupees. Okay. So next is there are some expenses incurred in the business. So one is an electricity expenses, which is 500 rupees, and salary to the showroom boy, which is 5,000 rupees. The total is 5,500. So my gross profit is 14,000. My indirect expenses is 5,500. So my net profit is 8,500. So this is the net profit for the particular company for the period. Okay. So please note that in profit and loss account, it's always about a period. Okay. For the period, see, if a company, if somebody is asking if a company is made a profit or not, then you should provide a period. It should have a from date and to date. Maybe 1 day also, but that should be period. Good to go? Fine. in balance sheet, of course, I want you to spend some more time on this. You just observe it, then you say done. Then I'll tell you the difference between balance sheet and P&L. Thanks, Roshni, for the feedback. Good. So, the P&L is always for the period. Okay. So, in P&L, what do we know? We will see the income and expenses of the particular company. Okay. In balance sheet, what do we see? Assets and liability. Okay. Balance sheet is always for a particular date, particular day. It is not for the period. What is the status of the company? What is the financial position of the company for a particular day? So, the easiest way to remember is, balance sheet is a snapshot, it's a photo, okay. P&L is what? P&L is a video. Video, is it a photo or it's a running thing? Video will have a start time and end time, okay. You just remember this example, you will not forget it in your life. Balance sheet is a snapshot, it is a photo. For a single day, what is the status? And the one particular day, what is the status of the company? What is the status? How much a company owns? What is the assets of the company? And how much money the company has to owe or return to the particular people. Okay, so that is the liability. Okay, it is always a one particular day. It is a position. It is something like that. What do we say? For an example, it is age. What is your age? It is a particular state. My age is this. Tomorrow the age will differ because something will happen. But when it comes to P&L, I don't get any right example, but you can see that you can take the same example. It is a video. All video have a starting time and ending time. So for profit and loss account, it is a period. Okay. So if you understood this concept, can you just type photo video? So photo is a balance sheet. Video is a P&L, profit and loss account. Good, fine. So we have clearly understood the difference between P&L and balance sheet. Okay. There's one more report, interesting report, which we used to prepare in our classes. What is it? Trial balance. So how do you go to the trial balance? Display more reports. The very first is an accounting report, which is a trial balance. Good to go? So this is the trial balance report. So what is the trial balance report? It tells me the debit and credit balance of the all ledgers, all accounts. So that is called as a trial balance. Okay. So let me go once again. So the trial balance is available in display more reports, trial balance. See, as a student, you also understand the navigation, how it, from which part of the trial balance available in Tally and under which menu. Okay. It helps you to work Tally better. Of course, you can use also a go to option. Okay, we can also use a go to option. So now I'm in a trial balance, which is all in a summarized way. Okay, so how do you see it in a detailed manner? What is the shortcut key? Alt F5. I told you, no, the shortcut keys are, most of the shortcut keys are common across all the pages in Tally. Good to go? So this is my trial balance. So as the name suggests, the trial balance should tally. Okay, the trial balance should tally. If it is not tally, there will be a problem. You know it, no? So in your exam, if trial balance tally, you know that something is wrong. Something you have missed out. Something you have entered wrongly. Okay. As the name suggests, it should tally, balance. So this is the trial balance. I am seeing it in the expanded mode. So the key to expand is Alt F5. Okay. So capital account, liability, so it's coming. Okay. The trial balance, we can see it in 2-3 formats. In the trial balance, we can see it in 2-3 different formats. One is consolidated or summary way, that is Alt F5. The consolidated method we are able to see it. Group wise you can see it. The other one is detail. The other one is you can see as ledger wise. Only the ledgers will show. You can see the ledger wise. So what is the shortcut key? F5. F5 is the shortcut key. You can see it in the right hand side button. If I press F5, the trial balance ledger alone will appear. So here you will be able to see. So this is the cash balance 94,500 and electricity expenses. Okay. So this trial balance is also for the particular period, and you can also take it for a single day also. That doesn't matter. Good to go? Fine. So the trial balance, the other method is the other way of saying it, ledger wise without the group classification. If you want to see it ledger wise, the shortcut key is F5. I want to go back to, I want to see the group wise. So again you have to press F5. So this button, it is called as a toggle button, T-O-G-G-L, toggle button, which means that on off. So if I press F5, it will show ledger wise. Again if I press F5, it will show me the group wise. You can play and see it. I press F5, I am seeing it ledger wise. Again if I press F5, I am seeing it group wise. What is a group? This current assets, sales account, purchase. Are you able to see, no, in current assets, I have two ledgers are classified. One is an asset, which is advances, which is an asset. The other one is a cash in hand. Cash in hand and what? It is a group under which cash is there. Okay. Then I want to see opening balance and as well as the transaction. Okay. So this trial balance is for 1st of April to 1st of May. See, for example, I want to see the trial balance for 1st of May alone. Okay. 1st of May alone. Sorry, not 1st of May, for the month of May. So my period is Alt. How to change the period? You all know it, no? Alt F2 1.5 to 31st of May. Okay. On particular day, that is on 31st of May, this is my closing balance. This we call it as what? Closing balances. See, end of the 31st month, this is the closing balance. I want to see the opening also. Opening balance of 1st of May. How do you go? Press F12. Do you all remember? When we begin the class, we introduced this option called F12. F12 is a configuration option which is used to change the current screen format or appearance or display of data. Okay, now I press F12. I want to see the opening balance. Yes. I want to see the transaction also. I say yes. Net transaction, I just remove it. I say Control A. Now I am able to see it. See, in the first at the time of 1st May, what is my opening balance of capital account? It is 1 lakh. I did not have any transaction for the period May. Let's take the example of cash in hand. Okay, let's take the example of cash in hand. In the month beginning, that is 1st of May, my opening balance was 75,000 and there was some 35,000 debit. Debit means what? Cash have come inside. Okay, debit the asset, correct. Then there was some spending, cash gone out, 15,500. So 500 is for electricity, then 5,000 is spent for something else, and 10,000 is spent for buying a furniture. You all remember? So this way also you can see it. Okay, I can see the opening balance and transactions and the closing balance. Just spend 15 seconds and try to understand this report. This is the trial balance. This is one way of seeing the trial balance. How to change the appearance of the trial balance using the F12 configuration. So if you press F12, there are plenty of options here. I'm just explaining which is all key at the interest of the time. So I say show opening balance, show transactions. Good. Okay. Now in the F12, no, see this we saw show transaction. What is the debit? What is the credit for the particular period. That means this show transaction. Okay. Now we are able to see it in this cash. There were some 35,000 debit and there were some 15,500 credit. Okay. I want to merge it. Okay. I want to merge it. I want to see the net transaction. Okay. What is the net transaction? If we say the 35,500 and 15,500, my net transaction will be what? Approximately 20,000. Am I right? 20,000 of debit. Let's see it. Okay. You have 12. Show net transaction only. The third option. Are you able to see it? I say I activate this option by pressing yes. Enter. Control A. So the net transaction is 19,500. Sorry, I was wrong. Okay, in the calculation, the net transaction is 19,500. Okay. So this is one way of seeing the trial balance. Okay, 19,500 is the net transaction because my debit and credit gets netted. Okay. Shall I show one more time? So I say no. I say net transaction no. Now 35,000 minus 15,500, which is 19,500. 35,000 is my debit and credit is 15,500. Okay, I press F12. Net transaction, I make it as, good to go. Fine. So now I'll quickly recap it. What are the reports you have seen? Reports. Trial balance, balance sheet, profit and loss account, monthly summary, day book, ledger book or ledger vouchers. So these are the reports we have seen. Okay, fine. So let me introduce some more transaction types. Okay, transaction. What are the transactions we have seen? Purchase, receipt, payment, sales. Okay. So let me introduce two more transactions. How to go to the transaction? From Gateway of Tally, I can press Ctrl V vouchers, or I can choose Alt G, go to option. So what is pending? Journal. Okay. Then contra is pending. There are other vouchers also, but I am not going to cover at the interest of the time. Okay. So let's see that contra. Okay. So what is this contra? The contra transaction used whenever there is when there is an involvement of cash and bank, or cash and cash, or bank and bank. Okay, let me repeat it. Contra is used. Contra is a term is used in Tally to record a transaction where debit and credit are, it may be a cash or bank. If anything between cash to cash, bank to bank, or cash bank, bank cash. So this is called contra. So this transaction we will enter it in contra. Let me repeat it. There is no other thing should not come. That is, both debit and credit either should be a cash or a bank. Both debit and credit. So let me repeat it. Both in credit and debit should have either cash or bank, or cash. That's also fine. Good to go. Anything between this, if you make a transaction, that is a cash bank. You might ask, in which scenario that it happens. I'll give an example. Suppose a cash is deposited in a bank. Which bank? In a current account. See, in the business, no, they maintain a bank account. That account is called current account. Individuals, we maintain an account. No? That account is called which account? Savings account. Am I right? Savings account. Okay. So anything between a cash bank or cash to cash and bank to bank is called as it has to be entered in the contra voucher transaction. Okay. Can you just type contra, C-O-N-T-R-A, because it's an important term and it is an interview question. If you go to any interview for a Tally, they will say contra, because this is a unique term, or otherwise this term is used in Tally. I don't know about other software whether they use a contra. So it is a unique term which is used in Tally. So you should know about this, what is contra. So then your answer should be, so any transaction between cash and bank, or bank to cash, or in this combination, then we need to make an entry in contra vouchers. This should be your answer. Fine? Good to go? Thanks, Roshni, for the feedback. Okay, now we will enter a contra. So the transaction which I am going to do is, I am going to deposit amount. I am going to deposit amount in a bank, in my savings account. In my savings account means the company savings account. So when so deposit means what? Cash is going out. When cash is going out, what is the rule of accounting? We should credit it. When cash is coming, it is debit. Okay. So I credit the cash. Okay. So what is my cash balance? 1st of May. See the beauty of the tally. By entering itself, I am able to see the balance of cash, 94,500 rupees. 94,500 rupees is my cash balance on 1st of May. Are you able to see it in my mouse? So this is something new information we are learning. Okay. So the balance, the cash balance, or otherwise the account balance is not only for the cash, even for the any other account also it show. It will show the balance. Okay. So I am depositing 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees I am depositing it where? In the current account. Current bank account. Do we have a ledger for the current bank account? No, we don't have it. So we are creating it for very first time. So I say that I say that ICICI current account. I give the number of the account number for the easy identification. I gave some random number. My account number, my ledger name is ICICI current account 21 so and so. Saringla? Good. Enter. So what should be my group? The relevant group. It is a bank account. Am I right? It is a bank account. Okay. Bank account is under current assets. It's an asset, correct? Because it holds our cash. It's our cash, no? Then I say control A to shortcut to save it shortcut. So then I'm closing the entry. The transaction type is cash. I'm putting a cash in the bank. Okay. Then it's also for the denomination. This one all you can skip it. It's not very much important. Control A, Control A. Just you press Control A. See the additional screens, you can skip it by pressing Control A. You can say that cash deposited in narration. Enter. Good to go? Fine. So what is the thing we have learned in here? How to use a contra, how to go to the previous voucher, what's the shortcut keys? Anyone remember? Can I just type it? It is page up, the recent transaction. Cash is deposited, that's why it is credited in bank, the amount is increasing, so which is debited. Okay, good to go? So contra is always used for cash bank entries. Okay, good to go? Fine. Now can you go and see our balance sheet? Alt G, balance sheet. Are you able to see it? In cash I have 64,500. In bank I have 30,000 rupees. Fine. So what is the transaction we have learned right now? Contra. Fine. Let's see another example. The left out voucher is journal. Okay, the left out voucher is journal. Okay, so journal is used to make an entry for adjustment entries or which is not related to sales purchase, which is not related to payment and receipt. Other entries other than contra, payment, receipt, sales, if any other entries comes, we will put it in the journal entry. Okay. See, for example, I'm purchasing coffee from the nearby shop. The office is purchasing coffee from the nearby shop. They don't make a payment every day. They make a payment once in a month. Okay. So further they need to make an account. No. Okay. So that account I'm going to maintain it through in Tally. The transaction I'm going to use journal to capture the particular entry. Okay. So in this case, I'll say journal. Okay. So debit the expenses. So what is the expenses? T expenses. So which is under indirect expenses, because this expense is not directly related to the trading activity. What is the core activity of ABCD Limited? Trading of mobile. It is not directly involved in it. It is a T expenses is an indirect expenses. Okay, I say indirect expenses. So 1st of April. So 1st of April, this and all, you just press it, date of birth 1st of April, T expenses 50 rupees. Okay. Then credit. Credit means what? I have to credit the supplier because I have to pay that amount. Okay. It is not a regular supplier. Note that it's not a regular supplies, it's a T expenses. The regular supplies means you don't provide mobile on all. It is a, for an expenses sake, I consider this as a supplier. Okay. So the shop will have some name. For example, the shop has a name called Irani tea shop. Irani tea shop. So I have to say that I have to make an entry that I have to pay that 50 or 100 rupees to the Irani shop. I make an entry into that. So this is a liability for the company. Am I right? This is a liability because the company has to make a payment at the end of the month or whenever they want to close the account or whenever they want to make the payment. Okay. So I have to say that Irani tea shop, a tea vendor. Then he is a sundry creditor. Why creditor? It's a liability, correct? Sundry creditor. I make 50 rupees. Fine. I enter it because as and when I buy a tea, I don't make a payment. I'll say that Anna, keep account in my name. I will settle it when you ask or at the end of the month. So this is the deal between the thing. So these are the expenses we need to put it in the journal. You might ask, sir, see it is a purchase. Why don't we put it in the purchase? This question may arise in it. See purchase. This tea, buying a tea is not my regular activity. So I shouldn't put it in the purchase. It is my office expenses. So that is why I have to put it in the journal. Okay. Since please note that since I am enjoying the credit, I am not making the payment immediately, I am putting it in the journal. Suppose I pay money and buy tea. How do you make an entry? I will put it in the payment voucher. So in this case, again the debit is a tea expenses, credit will be cash. The account that there itself it is closed. Good to go? Since I am buying for a credit or I want to book it, so I am making it in this journal. Okay, please note that not only for the expenses, all transactions other than receipt, other than payment, sales, contra and purchase, you make it in journal. For timing, you will have this kind of understanding. Okay, once you learn tally more, then there will be other scenarios will come. Okay, so here we will save this voucher. Fine. Here I am going to teach you another important thing, another important aspect to you. I go to day book, which is 1st of April, there is a tea expenses. Okay. The next day also I am buying a tea. Because every day I buy just tea to give it to the office staff and for the owner to have it. I want to make the same 50 rupees expenses. Okay. So what you can do is in tally, the beauty of tally is you don't need to enter a voucher again and again from the beginning. You can duplicate a voucher. What do you mean by duplicate? You can create a copy of the voucher. Okay. So here my tea expense is my voucher. I want to duplicate it for the date 2nd April. So how do you do it? You have a shortcut key here, Alt 2, duplicate voucher. You can either click or you can use a shortcut key Alt 2. Why I say it's Alt 2? Because it's 2 underscore. The numeric 2 underscore is there. I'm just duplicating it. The voucher will come. If the duplicate is happens for the same day, okay, so now I need to change the date. Okay, I change the date to F2. I say the 2.4. Okay, so I enter entry. Okay, you may say, sir, it has not come. Why it has not come? Because the selected date is 1st of April. If I choose a period 1.4 to 2.4, then I'll have an entry. 2 T expenses entry. So one is for a 1st of date, the another one is for a 2nd date. Okay. So what is the option I have used to duplicate it? From the day book. From the day book, I press the button, duplicate voucher, shortcut key or otherwise button. So the voucher opens in my duplicate mode. Opens in a duplicate mode. Are you able to see it? Why I say that mode? Here you can say the duplicate. It takes one copy and it allows me to change whatever information I want to change. I can use the same day or I can change the other dates also. Say I say control A. So in this case what? Same day it got duplicated. Maybe it may be the case also. Morning I am having one set of tea for my staff and the evening I have a set of tea for my staff. So 3 entries are come for the date 1st and 2nd of April. Okay. So this is the reason why you have to make it in journal voucher. Can you just type journal in your chat box? So it just ensures me that you understood this concept, journal. Fine. Okay. Now we'll see that. I want to go on. I want to see my T expenses ledger. How much I spent for the T expenses? Where and all I can see? I can go to the T expenses ledger. Okay. How do I go? Alt G. Go to option. You can see account vouchers or ledger vouchers. Sorry, ledger vouchers. Ledger vouchers. I say T expenses. Enter T expenses. So I am able to see it. So for the month of April, the total T expense is 150. So since it's an expenses, it is showing in the debit side. Okay. Now I want to check. How much the company how much the company has to pay to the Irani tea shop. How do I see? I can go to Alt G. I'll introduce you one more shortcut button or another option. You can press F4. Are you able to see it? F4 ledger. You press F4 ledger, all the ledger get listed. I'm selecting Irani tea shop. So I'm having the information. Irani tea shop. From Irani tea shop, I have purchased 3 types that I booked it in the T expenses. Are you able to see it? Okay. So the total amount is 150. So this is how entries are made. So anytime I will be able to see what is my expenses, how much I owe. Good to go? Fine. Now what happens now? That is end of the month or the beginning of the month, I am settling the amount. So how do you settle the amount or how do you pay back the amount? Through which voucher type? We will use a payment voucher type because I am going to pay through what? Pay through cash. Okay. So can we create a voucher from this screen? Yes, you can create a voucher. How do you know? There is an option here, no? Add voucher. Using this option, you can create a voucher. Please note that transaction, voucher, entries, all are same. Let me repeat it, transaction, voucher, entries. All have the same meaning. I interchangeably use it and everyone also does the same way. Fine. Now I am adding a voucher. So shortcut key is Alt A. I am adding a voucher. What is the aim of this voucher? To make a payment to the Irani tea shop. So it is a payment. The shortcut key for payment is what? F5. I press F5. So here which ledger I should choose? Irani tea shop. Okay. Debit the receiver. Correct. Irani tea shop. Debit the receiver. How much I am paying? I am paying 150 rupees. And as I told you, I'll be able to see the current balance of the any ledger. Are you able to see it? 150 rupees. Any ledger. Okay. The date is 1st of May. The total balance is 150. So I make 150 rupees. Then credit. Credit what goes out. Okay. The money is going out. Correct? The cash. So cash, credit. Then I enter. If narration required, you enter narration, or otherwise you can skip also. So I'm entering it here. Yeah. That's it. Good to go. I made a payment. Fine. Now you will go and see the Irani voucher ledger. This is what opened now also. Now you see it. 50, 50, 50, 3 credits and payment 150 I've done. So do I have a balance right now? No, I don't have any balance right now. So now you will be able to understand now how people were able to quickly tell the balance. So this is how this Irani shop account is maintained in the company's account. Okay, imagine, suppose you are maintaining this data in Excel or in a note. Will you be able to quickly retrieve that information? No, it will be difficult. Okay, because you have to manually calculate it, you have to manually do the submission. Since we are using a tally accounting software or a accounting software per se, we will be able to pull out the information whenever we want. And also you have seen by yourself that just making a right transaction, just creating a right master is enough. All the reports, all the needed information is easily available, you can pull out. Good to go? So can you just type another journal in your chat box that you have understood? Fine. Okay. Now we'll see that I'll give another example for contra. Okay, now I'll give another example of contra. Contra is used for what? Anything related to cash bank, within the cash bank or cash to cash thing. You might ask, I was telling cash to cash, sir, how come the cash to cash will happen? See, in normally in companies, no, there are 2-3 cashes are maintained. So one is a petty cash. What is petty cash? A limited amount of cash is kept in a small box which is used for small expenses like petrol expenses, tea expenses, Xerox expenses. Then another big box will be there, or otherwise it's safe will be there. There the heavy amount will be stored. In Tally you can maintain any number of cash, petty cash or main cash also you can maintain. Okay, so mainly the main cash is lies with the owner or the key person. Petty cash the cashier or the office in charge person will have it. So even the transaction between the petty cash and main cash happens through the transaction type contra. Good to go? I think I have clarified that the petty cash. Petty cash is a limited amount of cash which is maintained in a small box or in a purse or it lies with the one person, which is used for the small expenses, as the name suggests, petty, small. Good to go? So even the transaction between petty cash and the cash is maintained in contra voucher. Let's quickly see one example. Alt A, contra. So I'm moving my main cash. I'm putting some 1000 rupees cash as a petty cash. So my main cash is cash, 1000 rupees. Okay. Then a debit, that is the owner is giving some 1000 rupees to the office boy or office assistant to manage the day-to-day small expenses. So I can create another ledger which is called petty cash, which is also under cash and bank, cash in hand, not cash and bank, cash in hand group, which is again a current asset, which is again an asset. The overall hierarchy, it goes to the asset only. Enter. Control A. Fine. Okay, now I want to see my cash balances. How do I see? This is something new report. Please pay attention. Display more reports. There is one book called accounts books. There is one menu called account books. Here you choose cash/bank books. So it tells you what is the balance in a cash and bank. I'll enter it here. Now you see this report. So what are the informations are available here? It tells me the closing balance of the cash and bank accounts. How many cashes I have? I have 2 cashes. This cash and petty cash. So this cash is mainly a main cash and this is the petty cash. Okay, and this is my bank account. So this is my overall balance. 94,350 is my money value, which is available part as a cash, part is in bank. Good to go? Fine. So if you understood this, can you just type petty cash PC in your chat box? Okay, fine. So here I'm going to ask you one interesting question. Let's see that who is going to answer. Okay. So what is this transaction? I am in a bank account. Okay, what is this transaction? I am depositing a cash. So it comes in the debit side. Okay, it comes in the debit side. Fine. But you've seen, no? You've seen in your savings bank account or in your parents' account, when the cash is deposited in the bank, you will get the message cash is credited. Good to go? Have you understood this? Are you able to understand the scenario? You get a message called cash is credited. Okay. But in Tally, we are maintaining as a cash is debited. And according to it also says that when cash comes in, it is debit. So Tally is correct. But in your bank statement and all, or otherwise in a bank SMS and all, we are getting a message credited. Bank is credited. Why it is so? Can anyone of you put it in the chat box? We are getting a message cash is credited. Why it is so? First of all, have you understood the question? If you understood the question plus Q, then you try to answer it. Why it is so? So when there is when money is deposited, it is debited because what comes in. But in our bank statement, we are seeing as a credit, and also in our SMS we see credit. Why? Any guess? Exactly, super brilliant. Because Stuti, it's very good. Because the account is maintained from the bank perspective, not from our perspective. If a bank takes the money from us, it is a liability of the bank to pay us. For a bank, it is a liability. So if it is a liability, it is a credit. Okay. Very good. So it's from a bank perspective. From the bank perspective, the account is maintained. From the bank perspective, the account book is maintained. Not from the customer perspective. From the customer, not from the customer point of view. From the bank point of view, when you deposit an amount, the bank has to pay back. Bank owes you. Okay. Good. Very good. Brilliant. Fine. So now we will see how to create a group. Okay, how to create a group. Okay, we know that we so far we have used groups. What groups? Ledger groups. Okay, what is ledger groups? If you go to P&L or balance sheet, you can see sales accounts, purchase accounts, indirect expenses. So these are ledger groups. So gross profit and all not ledger groups. These are computed value. Okay, or calculated values. So you can also create your own ledger groups. See, for example, sales account is there, no? Sales account. I can also create some more groups. See, for example, under sales account, I can create any number of groups. That we are going to say that how to create a groups. So let me put it here. Create group. Okay. So generally I have a sale of accounts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sale of accessories. There's another account called sale of, not account, group, sale of accessories. Okay. So this is also under sales account. Okay. Then I create one more account, sale of mobiles. This is also under sales account. Fine. So what do? I create a ledger. You might ask, sir, why do I have to create a group? So I want to group some of the ledgers in a specific group. So otherwise I'll put some more example and I'll show it to you. Okay. See, for example, I'll create a ledger. Power cable sales. So all power cable sales, I just want to put it under the sale of accessories. Okay. Adhe mari, the same way, I want a mobile pouch sales. I put it under the sale of accessories. Okay. Then I have one ledger called mobile sales. No, that I'm going to alter it. Please note that I just explained to you or shown you how to create a group. Now I'm going to show you how to alter the ledger. Okay. Which ledger? Sale of mobile phones. I'm going to alter it. Alter. I just type alter. That's just type sale of mobiles. See, as you type, no, the available list also got filtered for you to easily pick up the item. That's also a power of tally. I press sale of mobiles. Instead of general account, instead of common sale account, I choose the account sale of I think I have not created, it seems. Okay. I create a ledger. Sorry, I create a group sale of mobiles. Already there, I think I gave a wrong group. Let me just give me a minute. Group sale of mobiles, sales of mobiles. Okay, sales of mobiles. Okay. Now I alter the ledger. sales of mobiles. Okay. Give control and there are some alerts will come. For time being, you just say accept and move forward. Okay. Now you go to my P&L account. Are you able to see it? Sale of accessories, sale of mobiles. See, I want to group it and see. So that is the purpose that I am creating a further groups. Okay. Good to go. Fine. So what are the two things we have learned just now? So one is a creation of group. The other one is alteration of ledger. Okay. So how did I alter? Let me go again. Come to the gateway of Tally. Alter. Ledger. Then enter the ledger name. You can alter. You can do the changes. Okay. I just skip it. The other one is the creation of group. Create group. Good to go? Fine. Now let's see. I'll tell you another important report. Chart of accounts. Okay, chart of account which is available in the gateway of Tally. Top menu itself. Okay, chart of accounts. What it does? Let's see. Chart of accounts. I say ledgers. It will give me the entire hierarchy, the tree structure, how my ledgers and groups are organized. Okay, what is the levels, what is the hierarchy? Hierarchy means level, what comes under what. So this information I'll be able to see in the chart of accounts. I choose ledgers. Are you able to see it? I have an asset. As we all know that all ledgers, all groups will come under the just 4 heads. What are those 4 heads? Assets, liabilities, income and expenses. Okay, so now assets. Under assets I have a current assets. Under current assets I have a bank accounts. Okay, under bank accounts I have a ledger. Okay, please note that in bank account is slightly indented. That is, there is a space before the bank account, which means that this bank account comes under current assets. You need to understand like this. The other thing is, if it is appearing in the bold, in a darker black color, it is a group. If it is unbold, if it is not bold, if it's appearing in the normal text, then it is a ledger. Okay. So are you able to see it? Are you able to infer the information? Asset. Under asset I have a current asset. Under current asset I have a bank accounts as a group and cash in hand as a group. Under cash in hand to have 2 ledgers, cash ledger and petty cash ledger. If it is bold, it is a group. If it is in a normal text, then it is a ledger. If it is indented, indent means it's a, or otherwise margin or tab. Then if it is tabbed, then the previous line, which means it comes under the previous head. So this cash is under the previous cash in hand. This petty cash is under the cash in hand. Good to go? So like that, loans and advances, which is asset. Under here we have an office advance. You remember we paid some 25,000 rupees for the office expenses. There are other groups also available which we have not created. These groups are part of a Tally, or otherwise we call it as a default groups. Okay. Please note that Tally has a default groups and we can also create our own groups. We also create our own groups. We just see an example. We created our own groups. What are the 2 groups we have created? You remember sale of mobiles and sale of accessories. So sale of mobiles and sale of accessories these are all income groups. So we will see it in the income. Expenses, income. Are you able to see it? Income is my main head. Under that I have a direct income. I have a indirect income. So can you see it? This sales account, so it is slightly indented, which means it comes under direct income. Okay. Then I have a sale of accessories. Which is under sales account. Under the sale of accessories, I have 2 sales account, mobile pouch sales and power cable sales. Okay. Then I have another group which is a sale of mobiles, which has 1 ledger under it. Sale of mobile. Okay. So what is this report is called? This report is called chart of accounts. It's a chart of accounts. See, normally the chart of accounts is prepared in any of the most of the companies. So they will say what are the heads should be there and what are the heads are under which category. So in Tally, we will see the chart of accounts from the gateway of Tally, chart of accounts. The other way to go to chart of accounts is what? Alt G and chart of accounts. Will be taken to chart of accounts. Here you choose ledgers. There are other things are there that we will cover it in the coming classes. Okay. So students, your attendance link is posted in the chat. Please go and mark your attendance without fail. Your attendance link is in the chat. Please mark your attendance without fail. Good to go. So can we quickly recap what you have done today? So what are the things we have seen? We have seen all the voucher types, all the basic voucher types. Contra, purchase, journal, we have seen it. Then we have seen the reports, which is what are the reports we have seen today. Trial balance we have seen, and how to see a trial balance in 2-3 different formats. We have seen monthly registers, and we have seen day book, we have seen account books. So these are things we have seen. We have saw that contra and journal voucher, how to use it, that we have seen. Chart of accounts we have seen, and we have also learnt gross profit, net profit. Then we have saw one incredible feature in Tally. What is it? Drill down feature. You can dig the information. You can go detail by clicking or otherwise by entering it. So you can change the data, and you can as you come out, the data automatically gets refreshed. Insert a voucher, add a voucher. We have seen how to alter a group, how to alter a ledgers. Okay, then chart of accounts. So these are the things we have seen. Maybe we'll take one quick last option. I want to delete the voucher. Okay, I want to delete the voucher. How do I do it? Through Tally. Choose the voucher. How do I choose it? Now it is highlighted. No, the orange color highlighted is the voucher. It is got selected. Press Alt D. Press Alt D. Are you able to see it? Alt D. The option is also available. Alt D. Press Y. The voucher will get deleted. You cannot reverse it back. You cannot come back. You cannot undo and all. So that's why you have to be very careful before using this option. So I say Alt D. It asks me the confirmation. Yes or no. If I give yes, the voucher get deleted. So this is something new option we have seen. Okay. Guys, you have any queries, you can ask. So that's all for today's class. If you have any queries, you can put it in the chat box. How was the class? Was it clear? Were you able to follow? What is the cancel of voucher? I'll tell you tomorrow, but anyway, since you have asked right now, I quickly say that cancellation of voucher, what will happen? No, the informations will be deleted, but the number is retained. The voucher number is retained. The information will be deleted, the voucher number will be retained, and narration will be retained. See, I'll give you an example. Suppose I have a 10 vouchers. Okay. Suppose if I cancel a voucher of 5, the number will retain. Otherwise, what will happen? If I delete it, 6 becomes 5, 7 becomes 6. Okay. So that is the purpose of cancellation of voucher. Good question. Thanks, Rudy, for the feedback. Tomorrow I will again explain you on the cancellation of voucher. Difference between the cancellation of voucher and deletion of the voucher. Good observation. Okay guys, I am stopping the streaming. So we will meet tomorrow 7 o'clock, same time, in the same link.